Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Let's talk battle rap group chats, post event space. I almost said space. Jesus, post event podcast, YouTube, Twitter live. Okay, we're here, man. Nexus 4, I believe. Smo's the only one tracking the numbers. My man Jason Reviews is here. My man Q
This
is
is
here.
this is the fourth Nexus, even
This
though
is in fact the fourth Nexus.
they just gave up on counting. They just call it Nexus, but it is the fourth time they've done this.
But it was the first Nexus pay per view.
Wait, no, I don't.
No,
Hold on.
it's that three
It's
of
actually not. I don't think it is.
three
Wait,
of the
what?
four Nexuses have been live. Two of them were on the app's little streaming. You know when they stream right from the app.
Yeah.
The third one they didn't. That was like Av and Woosaah, Rock versus Jay the Nightwing, and now this one's pay per view. It's actually
Yeah, so it's first pay-per-view.
No, that was outside. That was outside. The Nexus card from this year was Sheed and Jay and Hansel and Dice.
more. That wasn't streamed, but the first two were.
Yeah.
First two were streamed.
Yeah.
But this is first pay per view, so I was still right technically.
No, it's not.
Pay per view
There was a
They
pay-per-view.
did.
That's what we're telling you.
on the app, but it was like with the app subscription. It wasn't a pay per view, was it?
Nah,
Isn't that
you,
with your
you
app subscription?
I think that you paid for it too for like 20 or some discount. Either way, I mean they're streamed, so I don't know. But either way, Nexus went down tonight, man. I gotta say, pretty good card. And I knew going in, for the most part, we'd have some good rec. Some of the better performances and better moments came from some different areas. But I think all in all, successful night for URL, and then another huge SM announcement, which they can't seem to miss for Summer Madness. So
Yeah, let's get right to that, man. Geechi Gotti versus Shotty Horroh announced Summer Madness. It's really feeling like Summer Madness again. Like, not really a game, not really just like, oh, this is Summer Madness, but we're missing things. No. Everything they've announced is a banger for this card.
4 for 4.
Yeah, I am
Crazy.
super excited for this. I'm glad to see Shotty on URL, man. It's gonna be nice to see him on the platform, but also on a card in his home country and the Summer Madness. This is a big deal. This is major. I'm super excited for this. They alluded to it tonight. Black did about the UK crowd, like it's not necessarily the UK crowd people think about. So it'd be nice to see Shotty in front of like kind of a different environment for him as opposed to the Don't Flop and the premiere. You know, I'm excited for Geechi and Shotty, man. Geechi's first trip overseas. Last time he technically battled on the camera for them. They played the battle. He had an on-demand battle for him, and they apparently loved it in the building. So I'm super excited for this. How y'all feeling?
I love this battle. I think this battle could be like really, really great. We saw how good Shotty was versus Shine, and the type of battle of the year contender, borderline one of the thing that if you want to call it that, but one of the better battles of the year versus Shine, and really over delivered there. I think to a lot of people, and to get on SM in London after the kind of somewhat storied history of Shotty's feelings about URL 2 is a really big deal. So it's massive from that perspective. It's massive for it being in London and this being his debut. He's joining A Ward now as being the two debut guys on SM this year. I think this battle could be really, really great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a humongous announcement, and it's really good for the time that we're in. I mean, we're coming off Shine versus Shotty Horroh, which, even though we're talking about already established legends, that was a perfect double return for both of them. I just want to see Geechi disrespect the Queen is insane. But no, I love it. Obviously, with how Shotty's stock is right now, it makes a ton of sense. I think Geechi Gotti's also a perfect opponent where he's just all-time road warrior, all-around talent whose style can kind of mesh with any situation. A la Charlie Clips when he actually gave a fuck about this sport. So I think that there's a lot of potential in the matchup. And Geechi, for the fact that he gets some of those same kind of critiques for battle to battle, maybe freestyling a battle here, not caring as much when it comes to his bigger matchups the last 2 years, your Ilmac battle, your Hitman Holla battle, even if you consider the Miss Hustle battle, which was a big name, you tend to still get like very informed Geechi Gottis. So for him to go out there and take Shotty, Shotty said after he battled Shine in New York, he wanted one of the legends to come to the UK. And finally, someone's going to follow through for the first time. And I don't know how many years since someone went over there to battle Shotty from the US. But
For a long time.
The great. The names are great. And I don't think people expected it either. And that's what you want from SM announcements. You want like really some that you expect, some that are built up, and then some matchups that are somehow really, really good without being obvious that it could be booked. So it's just another one, kind of like A Ward versus T Top, where I think URL like just nailed it. It's really can be debated as the co-main event. I don't know how they'll structure it, but for a lot of people, it's probably the second biggest battle on the card behind Twerk and Luck. So
Yeah, this is kind of a
you could argue for it for sure.
yeah. I think the good thing about this battle is that like it's a battle you can kind of put anywhere on the card because of the Shotty factor of it, right? So if there's a lackluster battle and the crowd seems like they're losing it, hey guys, hey, wake up, Shotty's coming, Shotty's on stage next. We'll put Shotty on stage, crowd's back, energy's back, right? Like, so I think that's a really good segment of the card because I think one of the underrated things about these events and how successful they are is card structuring and how you sequence the battles. So having bad battles that you can kind of put on to get the energy back easily is definitely a key to a successful night. And the crowd's gonna be buzzing anyway. Once they get Shotty, man, it's gonna be lit. I wouldn't want to rap after them though. That wouldn't be fun. That's not exciting.
That's gonna be a lot of energy in those. And
So
I would say between T Top and Ward and Geechi versus Shotty, that's just so much energy. And I think that London's going to be an amazing crowd. Obviously, we haven't gotten a URL event in London since 2018, and they were amazing for that event. So I think they're going to be on fire throughout the whole night. But like Geechi and Shotty is going to be like a whole lot of emotion in that.
so much. And I'm really excited for that battle, man. Can't wait to see that one. We'll get more into that as the time gets closer. But you know, we just wanted to acknowledge that. But we had an event, guys. We had a successful event.
A good event.
You know what I'm saying? Had a little bit of turbulence with the start, you know, but hey, it's battle rap. What we can't expect.
You know what? I'll say maybe decent reasoning this time though. With with flight delays and things like that. So we experience a lot of nonsense when it comes to battle rap start times, but I feel like this one probably is up there with the more decent reasons that we've gotten.
And letting us know was big because that's really the other thing is like we'll just sit there for 2 hours. They'll be like, well, now we're ready. I like that they let us know like you got about 2 more hours. I did not turn the game off. I waited until, you know what I'm saying, looking at the timeline until it started. And outside of some later in the event, the intermissions got a little bit like lengthier, went from like 10 to 15 minutes, like 30 to 40, which I don't love. But overall, this event didn't even this wasn't a like 6-7 hour event. Like people are awake. We're actually shooting this. For most events, we probably fucking couldn't, to be honest with you. So all production wise, I think URL did a good job. And then the battles themselves, which we'll get right into, I thought were just as good.
Yeah, let's start with the main event, man. Main event, probably battle of the night. I don't think we're gonna have much disagreement on that. Tay Roc and Lu Castro.
I might disagree, but it is a really, really good battle. I do like Lu Castro a lot.
I love this battle. I thought this battle was awesome. I love this battle.
Yeah, I was super impressed. As somebody who's just not, I've seen Lu Castro has gotten better, but I'm also like, not with them. I believe. Special. Yeah, I don't believe. I think he showed what you're supposed to show in these kind of situations. When you get a play like Tay Roc, he did what you're supposed to do. Tay Roc, I tweeted that there's not enough adjectives to describe just how good he is. I don't know what else to say at this point, right? Nothing sounds good enough to explain how good this man has consistently been for so long.
Last week I said that if Roc won this battle, if Castro lost this battle, it wouldn't be because Roc wasn't good or the Castro was choking or whatever. It'll be because Roc took off on him. Because I fully expected Castro to come in prepared and maybe be the best Castro that we've ever seen here. It's a losing performance, a losing effort. I think he loses at least the first two pretty clearly. I think the third is debatable, but it's one of the best Castros ever, if not the best Castro ever. And he's lost to Roc because Roc, I don't know if I'm tripping. This is my favorite Roc performance of the year. He's great versus Jay. He handles business versus Sick. He's solid versus Quest. This is my favorite Roc performance of the year. All 3 rounds, he was just floating. And off the rip, getting straight into the Ryan pockets, out the gate in the first round. Obviously, we know what Roc, we're getting a lot of punches, a lot of gun bars. Stylistically, that's what Roc focuses on now, especially more with the flow pockets and that being part of it. But he says some super creative stuff too. The turn the ruler into a yardstick is one of the most insane things I've ever heard said to Lu Castro.
And the protractor bar, I don't remember.
People go so often for the big dog bars or wild strong bars, and those are cool, those are fine. But the ruler thing is a kind of a unique flip on Castro that no one uses that often. So to sit there and say some shit like turn the ruler into a yardstick, that's God. He's operating at a different level right
And
now.
that was his third round. His first round, he had the most electric flips, which, like,
Yeah.
it is
Yes.
kind of reaching for any alias you can find, but I wasn't mad at it at all. It was okay energy wise, but bars weren't there. I don't know if you're talking about Lou or Rock Jamal. I thought that they both had really everything, like Lu
I agree.
Castro wise. I won't go right now and say like definitively it's the best Lou I've seen, but it's one of the best, like most complete Lu Castro
I'm
performances.
sensing
His
I'm
first
sensing
was
Pin Patrol from Jamal. Sensing a
maybe
little bit of Pin Patrol taking
his
place.
Lou's first was great.
Yeah.
His third was great. The third is probably the one round I think you could debate for him. And then even his second was good. So there's nothing more I could have asked of Lou. He was funny. He had haymakers to go with it. I think Lu Castro wise, he's not exactly the most pen heavy battler, but I thought this had some of his better punches and writing that you're going to find.
Yeah.
He
Super like
angled
very
kind of
solid.
successfully, like things that in other battles, if you told me to battle like Lu Castro would like go like punches only with some angles, I would be like pretty concerned, you know what I'm saying? But really across the board, he was great. The problem is he's battling the best battle rapper of all time and still currently maybe the
Yeah,
best battle
yeah,
rapper.
like probably the best batter up in the world right now.
Just a
Like,
good version and just a great version of him too. You know what I'm saying? I would still take Rock's sick material as his best material this year, but to be honest, Rock just decided when this year started, I'm gonna just whoop on you on one. I want Jay. I'm gonna whoop
Yeah.
Jay. You were
Yeah.
good in that battle too. Didn't matter. Real sick. You gave it your all. Did not matter. And Lu Castro, one of the best performances of his career, and it's still good looks for these battlers, but that should tell you where we're at. We're like they're giving their all. They're still losing, possibly 3-0 in some of these cases. That should tell you like the level that Rock's at right now. And I love a few years ago. I know when we were on the Cody panel and put him at 7. People were like, "It's not fair. Like, how could he ever make Cody? Has no opponents left." And now, not only did he just win the award, he's building up another resume again. So
he
those
might
tiers,
be number one now. Like
yeah,
after
and
after this Lou battle, I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I think if we like, cause we did our mid year power rankings. I think a month or so later after we put it out, you know what? Rock's probably number one now.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, he's one of the performances of the night. He's in the debate for it. We're going to talk about Bill Collector in a little bit, which is where we'll have that discussion again. But I think Rock was phenomenal. I think Lou was really good. I had it Rock 2-1 in the first 2 rounds. It could be Rock Gentleman's, but it's like the textbook example of a gentleman's 30. Like no slight to Lu Castro. It's more about praises to Rock, but just a really good main event. That's what you want. You want the main event to be one of the standouts of the card. So
Yeah, it felt like in the second round, I'm like, damn, this Castro second round is really good, and it's not gonna matter at all.
it doesn't matter.
But
Didn't
you know, tiers people above Lu Castro and the tiers that fall into the Tay Roc second round. There's no shame in that. You know, you join an illustrious list of people who have lost the Tay Roc second round.
And you know what's sick for Castro is like Castro even got the benefit of Rock choosing to go first because Rock won the coin toss.
Yeah.
And Rock chose to go first. So Castro even got the benefit of getting to go second. And it still didn't matter because Rock is just like, no, I'm just the best battle rapper in the world. And like,
Right.
you don't really get an option here.
Tay Roc, do not choose to go first against Fonz, by the way, brother. Don't make it.
That would be a risky
Don't give him the
maneuver.
last word, big dog. Don't do that.
That'd be a risky maneuver.
Yeah, he's gonna have the toughest fight with you on one yet with Fonz. You know, granted, Easy's in that class. We'll probably never get that. So, with this Fonz battle, man, we'll see. But what has he done to the rest of you on one?
It doesn't matter.
And I'll say this though, like Fonz should be a harder task. Sick obviously was super formidable, but I think that going into facing Rock on the New York stage, that was always an uphill battle for Sick. Rock handled business that he should have. If that nigga goes up there and clears Fonz, you're gonna have a hard time like getting me off of like the stance of Rock being the Cody or that award belonging to him, because that is just a ridiculous run versus all of the new top level comp in the world.
Clearing damn near a whole like class is some crazy shit. That's a crazy badge to have. So is this what badge do you collect? What Infinity Stone do you collect from you on Monday night? The performance stone?
The performance stone.
The big dog stone.
The slogan stone.
The slogan
stone.
Well, I don't know if y'all got any more thoughts on it, but I think
I don't.
Rock's up
Let's
there
move
for
on.
one of the best performances of the night. It's a win for him.
He's
But I'm
number one.
not
He's number
looking at
one to
Lu
me.
Castro. I'm not looking at Lu Castro crazy for this one. I genuinely think he was great across all 3 rounds. So he'll get his props. And when we talk about call outs later, I actually think he had some of the best call outs of the night. So I'm excited to see what he does next because he's had a very good 2025 himself.
For sure. Yeah, so let's you mentioned it. So let's get into Hansel and Bill Collector. How'd y'all feel about that?
I'll let Hugo first.
Uh, I thought that there was a chance that Bill would be would be motivated with this being his return to URL, and I think that showed pretty clearly in this battle. I think Hansel got the first, and then after that, we showed why Bill Collector is who he is. Because as much as great as Bill can rap, there is the other side that he hasn't tapped into as much in the last few years, which is that
He just decides to be
comedic
funny.
time. When he just decides to be funny, which I think is funny now because he hasn't been that guy in so long that I think for some people they forget that Bill's one of the funniest battle rappers that we've ever seen. So
Right.
he just decided to be funny for the first time in years on Hansel and still have a bunch of clever bars woven in. And even though I like all of Hansel's material pretty much throughout this battle, Bill just started to control the room, and everything Bill did was just straight up vet crowd maneuvering tactics, and it was effective and it worked perfectly. And he was phenomenal in this battle. I think that some people might have Bill somewhat clearly in this battle. I'm not mad at that. I do think the third is debatable for Hansel, but I did leave the battle feeling like Bill got it 2-1 edge. Cool battle. I like the battle a good amount to be honest, but I was pleasantly surprised that like a really good Bill showed up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Samo. What you think?
I think this is the best Bill Collector in probably like over a year. I thought Bill started the battle pretty good in his first two, but I thought his second was like Bill maybe at his absolute best because not only was he back to back punching like the first round, but his animation was on point, his comedy was on point. Even sometimes when he turns to his more comedic bag, I feel like it can be like a little drawn out. It doesn't always hit for me, even though he's definitely one of the funnier battle rappers we've ever seen. But it just goes to show how locked in he had to be to have like I think it's kind of a mode that only him and I'd say Ill Will can get into. Maybe like Pat Stay, rest in peace, the legend, where it's the full entertainer. I have jokes, I have bars, I have performance, I'm angling a little bit. I'm just doing things that really you can't do. And that's kind of how it felt at parts of this Hansel battle, where Hansel, I think, especially in the third and the first round,
This is insane.
yeah, you call it the young canon of his class.
What the fuck was that?
This is like old school, like
That's what they just
slanderous.
Oh
You know
my
what I'm saying?
god! What the
That's just
fuck?
that's just the light skin
And
comparison.
there's be
That's all
someone
he
like, "What
did
do you
there.
mean slanderous?" Young Cannon's incredible. But anyways, and yeah, I see Zarin said best Bill since Tay Roc. I'm not mad at
Probably.
that at all, bro. Like I really
Me
think
either.
it's in that conversation, and I think Hansel was pretty good. I don't think he was bad. I don't think any of the new guys, the top 12 kind of guys, had bad performances tonight, but they were just getting better versions of like more experienced battle rappers. And I just think Bill is a top tier. And even though Hansel was pretty good, if this was like the choking Bill or the Bill that's been donating victories, he probably would have won with that. I wanted a little bit more. Like I thought this was Hansel's big battle. URL live stream top tier name. He's been doing good things recently versus Saint versus Justice. The Dice battle, all Ace Amin. But Bill live streamed on URL is a real opportunity to get that type of win where now you can get the stages and stuff. I just think he got too great of a version of a top level guy. And I just don't think he was able to match it, man. So I think Hansel had a decent performance, but this one was all about Bill. I think the first is the one round that you could debate. I edge Hansel the first round. But I think Bill had a more efficient round. I had a couple haymakers I like more from Hansel, but from there, I think it was Bill's battle, even with Hansel having a good third. So I had Bill's second and third clear. 2-1 at the very least. It could be a 3-0. And it's good to see him motivated again because that's a top tier that now there's matchups that you could cook up for him. And as for Hansel, it's not like a bad loss, but I expected a little more tonight from him. I can't lie to you. I did expect a little more.
Yeah. So with how the night was going, with Woosaah, we'll get into that battle later, but Woosaah kind of taking an L. Klutz in chess.
And we're gonna talk about whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna go all that.
I put out what I said. Hansel had the chance to really make a statement in this battle because the door was wide open for somebody to walk through it for that top 6.
Me and Titus were on the phone between the battles.
Yeah,
like
Hansel,
hey,
Hansel can put himself into some talks.
Well, I had all
with a
3 of them
dominant
winning coming into the night. I thought all
Yeah,
of them
like-
got to show out. To be honest with you, like so.
Yeah, I'm put these 2 comments up back to back because I think they go together very well. SB says maybe Hansel estimated Bill, and he said Hansel's not good enough to estimate anyone. I don't say he's not good enough. He's not in a position to in his
Jesus
career.
Christ.
But here's my thing. I thought Hansel could make a statement and put himself right in those talks, like the Woosaah Eunice talks. And I don't think a statement was made tonight. I really don't. The statement might be, "Hey, you're not in those talks." That might be the statement.
Nothing horrible happened, but I definitely am like, oh,
yeah. It's like,
okay,
okay. Well,
that was okay.
Let me put my new guy. Let me put my new guy defender hat on then.
You always have it on, brother.
I always have it on.
Take it off.
Yeah.
But I will say I get this point for sure. Like a live stream against a top tier, against a big name, that this is the prime opportunity to clearly make a statement. We all agreed with that. We had Bill with his recent form. We had Hansel winning. That was the thing that made sense. But again, you never know when one of these guys who are proven top tier guys, that you never know when they're going to decide to show up and work their ass off and be really good. You never know when it's going to happen. So as much as it's like, man, I kind of wish Hansel would have done X, Y, Z, because then Hansel is now like, you're talking about Will and Eunice, being a Summer Madness, and you're teaching, and you're having these guys make call outs and who's going to be on SM and all this, and then Hansel's like, whoa, hold on, I just beat Bill Collector. That'd have been an amazing statement to make, but I also don't really feel like I come out of the event or that battle feeling any less about him because he faced a good version of a guy that won a 100K tournament.
Here's my question: do you think this was the best Hansel we've seen this year?
No, I wouldn't say that.
And that's my thing, right? Like
right.
In this moment, in this situation, like you need to be the best you can be, because honestly, Hansel's URL work this year has not been that. The same battle is great, soft URL. The dice battle, I said dice this time. I said dice. I said it. Dice battle, not enjoyable, not a fun time.
Even though he won, but I agree. I didn't love his etiquette or his material that much in that battle.
I enjoyed the controversy more than the battle, and I hate when I don't like when that happens. I don't like when there's controversy around a battle, then it drops. I'm like, oh, y'all argue about this? I'm unhappy now because now now we all hurt. Okay, but no, I just feel like I've seen Hansel get to high levels that I think show where he can be at, but I just feel like I haven't seen him do that on URL when they put him in these situations yet. And I'm just waiting. At some point, you gotta do it. You've been calling out John. You've been calling out DNA, brother. These are not John DNA performances you're putting on this platform. It's not like these are not that level of performance. And he got the call outs right. Called out Arsenal. That's what I'm talking about. Gets you an Arsenal plate. Get you a nice Arsenal dub. He handing them out with the spaghetti. The spaghetti costs, but the wins are free.
It's a plate with a plate.
It is. It's a combo meal.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, next
battle. What it is.
Next battle.
Yeah, man. Because we're going to talk new guys a lot, but it's one of Hansel's still having, in my opinion, like a top 20 level year. Like there's still really good things. Like there's been positive momentum for Hansel this year, but you got to be, when they ask you to be good or serviceable, like, he hung in there tonight. If you want to be considered great or top tier, make it in those combos that you were very loud that you should be in, then you have to be great against great. Like, it's not fair. It's not the easiest thing, but it's not fucking easy to be one of the best in the world. So that's what you want. You can't have that be the expectation. And when you're just kind of good or get through your raps, you're like, and another one for the run. Like I got him losing like 3 or 4 battles this year, even if he's pretty good in them. If he wants to be like I said, like one of the next stars, there's got to be a little bit more. So it wasn't a bad performance from him tonight, but it's kind of like that's a constant theme we're about to talk about with some of these other battles too. So,
can I request the battle that we do?
Sure.
Go for
it.
I would like to talk about Klutz and chess.
Fantastic. Before we do that, the one and only Jay Black's in the building. Salute to Jay Black.
Shout out my guy, man.
I saw them trying to pressure you into bringing back Cody for another year, as if you haven't said for 2 years that this is the last year of Cody. I found that to be hilarious.
Niggas don't respect deadlines and shit.
They don't respect deadlines at all, bro.
Like,
They're like, yo, we didn't think you were serious. I gave y'all 2 years. I told y'all for 2 years I'm doing good. Yeah, you've done it. You Black, you've done enough. Salute. Somebody else pick it up. But yeah, Chess and Klutz. I think
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I think time, man. Go ahead. Time.
You know, as I was watching Klutz's first round unfold, I was like, man, that was weird. I've never seen Klutz choke before. That was odd. And then he comes back and is like, wait, y'all thought I really choked? No. And I'm like, we're just like, maybe he's freestyling. Maybe that's him getting it back. Shout out to JB.
JB, man.
So like I'm thinking maybe he's freestyled, but then he did it for 8 more, like 6 more bars after that, and did a tank top reveal. And I'm like, oh, this was a strategy that you thought would work. You thought that basically forfeiting a round would somehow pay off for you in a rap battle. And even beyond, like, because I know at first there was
one bar. He forfeited it for 1 bar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I understand. Like, beyond the initial confusion of like whether the choke was real or not, because I saw people getting at you, Smo, about like knowing
whether people were like, yo, on my life, on everything I love, it was a fake choke. And I'm like, I'm with you. I get it. You want to like show me it definitely was a fake choke, but it was fucking stupid.
That's my thing is, look, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations, fake choke. Cool. You put yourself in a deficit in a rap battle for no fucking reason.
He said, I lost on purpose. Didn't see that one coming.
Look. I love Klutz and I love his output in his battle so far. Everything he's done, I feel like his material has been very high quality. I fuck with Klutz super heavy. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a battle rapper do in a rap battle, and it was a willful decision. That you did that. You planned that I'm gonna act like I choked in a round and bring it back the next round. Not like clear it up in the same round. In the next round.
How about another thing that I think it's underlined a little bit is how about kind of the disrespect or leisureness of like what Chess is as an opposition, where he's like, yeah, well, I'm just going to kind of give him the first, and then I'm just going to try to win the last 2 rounds. So insane.
Which granted, Chess hasn't been in great form for the most part in the last few years, but that's the risk of doing a play like this. Chess wound up being pretty solid tonight. So you go up there, you have this strategy of, I can forfeit a round because it's Chess. Maybe Chess will throw up. Maybe Chess will choke. Maybe Chess will start burping uncontrollably. Who knows? But that's not what happened tonight. You got a pretty decent Chess. So you choke in the round, and then Chess is decent. You're fighting in a hole now. For what?
And keep in mind too, it's not just that he had like the choke. He had a stumble in the beginning where he's like, my fault, apologizing. So let's say he was trying to sell this, right? It wasn't just the choke at the end. His energy is low. Like, you're telling me he was purposefully not good, purposefully gave his worst round of the battle.
Why?
Look at that, just so his friends could quote a tweet about the flyer from a month ago and be like, oh my God, it says chess move.
Yo,
I think there's like, listen, I love the risk taker that Klutz is. He takes a lot of risk in battles. He did it with the parallel universe crowd participation versus Danny. It was amazing. I did not like the coat taking off thing he did versus Chilla Jones. All right, it happens sometimes.
Or the smell thing versus Eunice.
Yeah, so sometimes versus JC, his 3rd round, which was super like, tying it, his personal life. So when you take chances, and that's the mark of a true pen, sometimes I love it. So I never want him to change that, but sometimes I think it's dumb. And this one, more than any of the others, I just don't understand, because even if we're saying it's a fake choke, we're also saying he was ass on purpose. I don't think at any point in a rap battle you should be ass on purpose. That doesn't make any sense to me. So you could still debate Klutz won this battle. We didn't even get his second is great.
His second is the best round of the battle.
He would have probably clearly won because Chess choked in the first two, for real choked, I guess. Like, it's not like Chess had a clean first either. You could have just clearly won the battle, but you lost on purpose to say that was a Chess move. 2 thumbs down, attack on hip hop, not a fan whatsoever. Still liked his performance from there on out, but did not understand. I just don't like it.
I can't condone this.
Yeah, here's my thing. Like, none of you made the point. Klutz takes risks, and I respect that. I do respect the fact that he does take these risks, but I can respect the fact you take the risk and also acknowledge that some of these risks are just poorly executed. All right.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Taking risks, jumping off the second floor is cool. Like, I'm glad you didn't break your ankle, but when you do break your ankle, you're not getting sympathy because you like to jump off the second floor of the fucking building. I'm not. I don't. There's nothing. I got nothing for you, bro. I don't. I'm sorry. Listen, man. Here's my thing with Klutz, right? And specifically that second round, right? Is that y'all know me. I am very, very. I will take away rounds for low IQ decisions. I will make you lose a round. I was real close to giving Chess that round, but then my boy, hit a Rogaine and a toilet bar. And I said, you know what? In good conscience, I cannot give you this round. It is 2025, my brother. We can have the toilet and the Rogaine.
No,
we can't do it, brother. We can't.
Klutz second is one of the best rounds of the night, though.
It was so good.
Hold on.
So good. When I got
over
my anger,
and then be that good.
Yeah, like when I got over my anger, I was like, you know, this is a good round. This is a good round. I'll take
I want to rewind. Because you're talking about the toilet and the Rogaine. Like, crazy things to be saying in 2020 in the big 2025 and everything. I want to point out, because this goes back to like the conversation about Chess maybe being past his peak that we had last week, right? In the opening of the battle, 4 bars in, we're getting Will Smith movie schemes. 4 bars in.
Gemini Man. Things of that nature.
Like, bro, like, this battle didn't make me happy, bro. This battle.
It wasn't straight up bad, but out of a night where I can point out 2 or 3 like either great performances or great battles, like this was definitely on the lower end, I think, for the entire.
It's not a standout. It's not.
But then like
I expected it to be.
But then we're talking about like these chess bars and these chess moments where we're like, what the fuck was that? Like we're expecting better from him. Then he like randomly has this crazy ass James Worthy bar to start his round for no reason at all.
That was
a super fire James Worthy bar after you said the toilet and the Rogaine. Like,
this battle had you know what it had? Because it's not, like I said, it's not bad. There's moments of good material. The pace was off on both sides, and it had no feel. There was no feel.
Yeah.
I can't tell you this was like a pen fest, super complex, you know what I'm saying, like wordsmith battle. There was no grudge to it. It wasn't energetic either. They weren't trading haymakers. There was just a weird pace to it overall. But in terms of which we might all have, I think it is a highly debatable battle. But I'll say off of my first watch, and I had Chess 2-1. I had him winning the first, clearly, even with both of them being unclean or whatever. We've discussed one person tossed the round. I think Chess gave you at least more effort than that. The second round, Klutz won clear. I thought Chess was okay, but I thought Klutz's second is the best of the battle. The third is razor close, and I might actually have Klutz on a rewatch. Like, he's someone where if a battle is this close on the first watch, it's going to benefit him over time. And I think it's done that some of his past work. So I wouldn't be surprised if I rewatch. I'm like, nah, it gets more a clear Klutz 2-1. But on my first watch, man, I had Chess 2-1 edging that third round of the battle. It could go either way there. It's not, I'd say, a bad look for either. It's not a great look for either. I think this is just like a battle. And I expected it to be more than that. And I think, like, out of all the new guys tonight, I actually think Klutz had the best performance, even with tossing the first round. Like, that's how high I feel about his second and even his third. But it's weird. That's the best word I can use, is weird. If you have Klutz 2-1, I'm not mad at it whatsoever. But, you know, I'm not writing home crazy about this battle at all.
This was the Sheamus Rusev feud of the event. Real wrestling fans know.
My brain says that Klutz won the second and third, right? That's what my brain says.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually, because of the loose ass beater he was wearing, I can't say he won the battle on this camera. I can't because that wasn't even like you wear outside beater. That was
definitely in the crib beater.
that was in the crib beater.
That's a lazy Saturday.
Yeah, that was in the crib.
Sunday beater.
That wasn't that you wear that bitch outside beater.
That's the red zone beater.
Jamal, you don't want that at your crib defender Rusev, brother. It's just you, big dog.
Yeah, like we can't be wearing doing chores on the Saturday beaters, bro. We can't be doing that.
The crowd ruined that.
The crowd ruined that.
Fair enough. But yeah, I will say I think my thoughts for Klutz is that for him to have been gone for so long, I expected a little more from him. Because I thought his Danny material was some of his. I love his Danny material.
I expected 3 of his.
I'm y'all know I'm really tough on Klutz. But I really like his Danny material there. I had nothing. I was like, yo, this bag he's getting in. He's got somewhere to go. But hey, I don't think he got to that form tonight. But like I said, it was fine battle. Yeah, this is all I got on that. Y'all any more thoughts on that?
No.
All right.
Because we didn't say it for the last battle. I just want to say Bill Collector's my performance of the night. And when we get to we'll talk about the call outs obviously here in a little bit. And that's when I have more to say about some, because I'm interested in some of their next looks. But Bill Collector for me was the performer of the night. So I want to double back and give him like just another shout out for that. But yeah, sure. That's all I got to say about Klutz and Chess.
Let's go with stay with the new guys. Woosaah Kid Slade.
Woosaah Kids open.
I only caught the third round of this battle, and based on what I've been told and based on how the votes went and most of the thoughts on the internet, I want to describe my experience with this battle like in this terms, right? Came in, Woosaah was rapping. I didn't know what round. I heard Woosaah was rapping. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, solid round, cool. His round ends. Kid Slade goes. It's belt. Like, oh, he's whooping his ass. Oh my God. I'm like, damn, so in my brain, right? I'm like, it's first round. Cool. I go to our group chat, right? Cause I can't wait to see how Woosaah responds. I go to the group chat. It's like, damn, this might be a clear 2-1 for Slade. I'm like, wait a minute, that was Woosaah's third round. That was his third. What he brought to the third round? I thought the round was so just like, I was like, that's an opener round. He's warming up. He's gonna right uphill. I didn't know that's how he ended the battle. So when I found that out, I was disturbed, brother. I was not at peace.
The only reason why Slade did not win this battle 3-0 is because Slade had a little glitch in the first round. Yep. Not even like a real choke or like a
couple low key. Like there was a couple times in the first that he the stumbles hurt him, but then
like that is the only reason why Slade did not win this battle 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Woo's second is okay. I think his third's fine. I thought his first was okay. But this kind of goes to the problem that I felt like could arise for Woosaah is he's battled a lot recently. He's battled a lot. Like he just got cleared by justice a couple of weeks ago. And that was concerning enough. France said Woosaah won clear. Is that true? He said Woo Thunder.
After he got his client stolen, he's trying to find a new one.
That's a fact.
Client got stolen.
But like, I felt concerned about Woosaah coming into this battle with the frequency and how much he was battling, and I think that fatigue showed up in spades here. And even if he wasn't bad, the problem is you're running into a nigga that isn't as worn out material wise as Woosaah was, because Slade came in there, and his second and third are straight violence.
Oh, like that when Slade said the ring cam footage is gonna look like the Blair
Witch.
What? Oh my God.
Yo, the shit Slade was saying, I ain't gonna lie, even though there's performers that are above Kid Slade for tonight, Kid Slade might have been my favorite performance. Like I will honestly, I would go back and watch Kid Slade's third as much as I'd watch anything else on this card, man. He's such a refreshing style. We always battlers, especially originality. I get people don't like Slade. Shit, I have not liked the way Slade's been booked. I mean, the fact he's got a Rock, Nitty, and Torque battle at this point to me is nonsense. I have all the critiques in the world, but dog, he raps so fucking good, and on a card like this, it just stands out immediately. Like the pockets and patterns that he was in, even in the first round, he was stumbly. He had better material. he had better material than Woosaah. I have him losing the first the same way with Eunice and Los Preem. Like, I have Eunice winning the first because he was good enough and Preem wasn't clean. That's the same thing with Woo tonight. And then from there, Slade just took off on him, man. The Bobby Brown bar was crazy. This is just
gonna need RZA and you God to put Woo back together.
he's
Like,
always going to be a talent. There's a reason that every time he battles after like these 3 or 4 month breaks, everyone is in the comments, yo, I want to see him more. Yo, I want to see him more. Doesn't always have to be versus the biggest of names. Like, this is a great example of a great style clash, bringing the absolute best out of Kid Slade. So even with the stumbles in the first, I was super impressed with him. His second and third was great. And I agree with you, man. It's a 2-1 clear at the very least.
you mentioned having Bill's as performance of the night, and I think Bill's a very fair pick. And this is not me saying the Slade performance of the night.
I see some people say Rock too. So, you know,
yeah, like mine's Rock. But like for me personally, I have Slade number 2 because like what he did in that second and third versus Woo, I thought was some of the most electric shit I've seen Slade do in a couple of years. Like, Slade has not won a battle clearly, probably since Stumbles. And that is ages ago at this point. So for Slade to go out there and just kind of thoroughly put belt to ass like that, I was very, very impressed.
Yeah, it was the kind of thing that got Slade to where he was at a certain point. It was like that kind of performance. And it was love I didn't know if he'd get back to. Like, I watched that man get 30 bucks for Flair Soul, and I'm like, hey, brother, hey, this just might be done at this point, right? So it was nice to see him really show that form. He can still get back to that, and it shows, like you said, Smo, he doesn't have to be top tiers every time, brother. Sometimes you gotta come down here, get some wreck, whoop some ass.
Yeah, the Stumbles was the top tier, and that was the one that really had him knocking. He was in the Stardom Club. You know what I'm saying? He got removed on a technicality going back, something that doesn't happen a lot, but he had already made it through the door. Now we got to talk about Woosaah. We got to talk about Woosaah a little bit.
I don't want to.
The way I feel about this Woosaah performance, and like I said, none of the new guys had a bad. Like, if someone was like Ash or I thought they were bad, I had no problem coming up here and saying that. I don't feel like Hansel, Woosaah, or Klutz, any of them were bad. But out of all 3 of them, who we've all had kind of our critiques for tonight, I think Woosaah was probably the most disappointing for me because he wrapped all 3 rounds clean. I just didn't think he was that good. He wasn't, like I said, not bad, but he was average. And I felt this way a little bit in the Justice battle, probably better in the Justice battle. He has his moments versus Twerk very recently. And I mention all these battles because he had built up such positive momentum up until that Av battle, which is debatable. I have him on the losing side of it, but like to have a true debatable with Av is a real accomplishment. So when Woo for SM started going up, and that was kind of like, and we're seeing all this motion, even tonight, a few times it was mentioned. It seems like even Smack and the league itself has bought into the idea where there's been hype to put Lu on out in London on SM15. He's lost his last 3 battles clear. And if you debate like I do, where I do have him losing to Av, that one's a good look, but I have him losing his last 4. He lost to Twerk. He choked away that battle. He went against Justice. It's a good battle, but Justice, who is under him rank-wise, right? He's in the Rookie of the Year convo, clearly won that battle. And then tonight, Slade gave him the first. And he still went on to clearly lose the second and the third. So that's a little bit worrisome for me. And this is, when Woosaah was first battling on URL, he thought I hated him because I kept saying, yo, you're losing very clear. You got 30 just first 2 battles on URL, Then when he won 3 or 4 in a row, Bad News, Jack Boy, and Clone, I love what he was doing. I'm kind of seeing a regression back to that first version where there's not as many haymakers. These aren't standout performances. I don't feel like you're getting better every battle or continuing that level of quality. So we'll see what goes on. I don't want to say like this loss in itself is like devastating, but losing your last 3 battles clear and then being on an SM campaign, that's kind of crazy. It is a little bit crazy. So he's the one that, like I said, not ass, but I wasn't moved by his performance at all tonight. I'm walking away thinking about Slade getting a clear W, and you're supposed to be possibly on SM. That worries me a little bit.
Go ahead. I'm going to say, not everyone should be battling at super high frequencies.
Literally what I was going to say. Literally the point I was going to make.
Go ahead. Take it away.
He tweeted after about 3 battles in less than 30 days is stressful as hell, but nonetheless, mission accomplished. I'm proud of myself. And getting through 3 battles clean in 30 days is something to be proud of, right? But like you said, Woosaah's in a stage where every performance dictates where you're going next, pretty much.
It matters now.
Yeah, every performance dictates your next move. So 3 battles in 30 days not allowing you to be your best self. Salute you for trying it. You did it. That's not your bag. Don't do that anymore, and that's okay. You don't have to three times in 30 days is a lot. It's a lot of raps to remember.
I agree.
I know Woosaah has like a job and everything. You live in regular life. You're married. Congrats. You're gonna have a child, so congrats on that as well. Like there's a lot going on in real life to where trying to prep for 3 battles in 30 days is just not something you should be doing right now, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, I want to get more into this after we get into talking about these battles. Do we have extreme thoughts on Miss Hustle and No Red, or can we breeze through that?
I just want to run one thing by you guys. Does it feel like every O-Red battle for the longest time? That shit feels like it's like 40 fucking minutes. And it's like every O-Red battle. It's like it's without fail every single time. And I'm never opposed to seeing O-Red, right? O-Red can be due for a crazy round, a crazy bar, a crazy battle. Sometimes he might choke. Sometimes he might lose a voice. Sometimes he might lose his voice. You never know what you're gonna get from O-Red, right? But I always enjoy seeing him. But every time we get to the O-Red portion of an event, I'm like, man, I'm really fucking tired now. How long has this battle been going on? I'm like, oh shit, this battle's been going on for 35 minutes, and it's the end of the second round. Oh no, that's not cool. Yeah. That's not all right. Yeah. We and like Hustle's guilty of it. She rap long as fuck too. I would like O-Red battles to stop being 50 minutes.
Please.
I would like that to stop happening. Please. Please, bro. I don't need that.
Ocho, look.
Red
we can't say things like this.
Oh man.
Say things like this, bro.
You just drinking straight Everclear. You don't even care about it. Hey, that's just great alcohol to the skull. That's great.
Yeah, we got 67 people or less O-Red today, and that was exciting. But like I said, those rounds they drug, and there's always good material there. It was like, damn, this round is I'm tired, bro. And like you said, Hustle rap long too. So I'm like, bro, but then
O-Red keeps running it back. He's like,
yes.
You
gotta hear me. You gotta hear me. That's my favorite O-Red trick, by the way. That's my favorite O-Red trick, bro. You gotta hear me. You gotta hear. No, you ain't hear it.
I think the word in this, a lot of the battlers that were great tonight, and then a lot that weren't great. I think pace. Was like one of the biggest things. Granted, I actually have O-Red versus Miss Hustle as battle of the night. It's my battle of the night. I know a lot of people are saying Rock and Lu, but I thought Red and Hustle was in there, and they were great. And I think Red's second and third are much better than his first. But when there is weaknesses to this battle, or if you are to say something against Red, he has that stop every bar. People gave JC a lot of shit for this with the every letter, where he was running back every line. He was pausing after every line. And it's like, no, Red, what you're rapping is fucking fire. But just like keep rapping. Like don't stop, bro. Like you can keep rapping. So when I'm looking at performances tonight that were great, we're thinking Rock, Bill Collector, Kid Slade, right? Those are 3 performances immediately that stand out. They all rapped right through their material. There's gonna be reaction, but they're really focusing on the sound of it as much as what they're saying. Because delivery is one thing, obviously that helps, but how you're like it phonically sounds and how it flows, that's one of the most integral parts of hip hop, you know what I'm saying, and rap as a whole. So I think that's a little bit where the disconnect could be, and the battle definitely ends up longer because of that. But I thought they were both really, really good, man. The first round of the battle, I Miss Hustle clear. The second round of the battle, I think O-Red, perfect response. One of the better O-Red rounds in quite some time.
Yeah.
And he does good in these Orlando rooms. He did good for Chilla Jones. He did good versus Chaos. Yeah. Not so good versus Swervo. But for the most part, has done great in that Orlando studio. So it was 1-1 clear to me. And then the third, it can really go either way. I think Miss Hustle made a great debate for herself at the end with that ESPN. I thought that was crazy. But I love some of O-Red's material in the third too. On first watch, I edged O-Red 2-1, but similar, like I kind of said with Chess and Klutz in the third, like if somebody has Hustle in the third, not mad at all. I think this is the best example of a good look for both battlers, because I think it's super duper debatable. The best a rematch can turn out for real. You want rematches to be better than the original, more competitive. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. So, I went Red 2-1, but this was another one that's just like, it was a good card. Like every battle either has a performance I really like, or both people were really good. So, and this is just the perfect example of that for my battle of the night. So shout out O-Red, shout out Miss Hustle, man.
Yeah. I agree with all that. I think I edged over Red just barely, but I think that is am I watching back the ESPN bar might edge it out. That bar was crazy.
Crazy buzzer beater.
Francis comment here. Hustler Red rounds were long, but the rewatch of the material is going to go over well. They both are trying to bomb on each other, and I think that's a good point too. I think these battles, like you said, the pacing was very good. All these battles like probably 30 minutes, maybe a little over, leading up to that point, which made that battle on this specific card stand out a lot. Cause like, damn, we doing a lot of rapping today. It made that battle stand out a lot because of how long it went, and there was a hell of a long intermission before that battle too, which didn't help things either.
And the last two intermissions were like that 30, 40 minutes where I'm sad to say I've experienced much worse in battle raps. I'm not going to act like it killed it, but you know, what's going on in those 40 minutes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The league, but takes away from the momentum a bit.
Yeah. I feel like when you get to watch that battle as a standalone product, it probably will be a lot more watchable, a lot more fun to watch as a standalone, as opposed to how it sticks out on this card. Even though like it's a competitive battle, probably the first or second best battle of the night. I know we have a debate on that, but it just felt out of place in the card where the rounds are like this. Now, before we get into our next segment, because we're going to talk about all these call outs leading into that.
Which I'm pulling up right now.
Yes. I saw this comment. Are we sure about Woofest for some madness? Can we just take a pause on that one?
I have thoughts.
I want to talk about this. I have thoughts on this too.
I have thoughts.
This ain't just about Woo. It's not about the big Woo. I like, you know, me and Woo have come a long way. I see the talent there. But all you top 6 people, let me tell you about something.
Talk to him, Titus.
No top 6 for SM. How about that? Huh?
Not even Eunice, man.
Eunice is there. He's right there, but you know his natural op kind of turned him down tonight. DNA said, number 2, brother. You could be second. You know. And if he's there, cool. But you know, I believe in stakes. I believe in accountability. You don't go get your main event and choke in it, young man. Eunice. All right.
Tuberculosis.
Don't go fumble the pack. All right. You don't go fumble the pack the way he did. All right. So you know, pulling up is cool. Hey, if he gets some man, it's cool. But these other Hansel, the 3 I saw tonight, that's not it. It's not something madness worthy.
Nah.
You're not going to Brevland. You don't get to go to Brevland.
To specifically speak on Woosaah, like I think the campaign was there and was working, had some legs behind it, and I think that if like, you know, in a perfect world, I would love to see Woo versus Suge on a big card, but with how things have gone in the last month, I can't sit there and justify him being on Summer Madness when I just think he clearly lost his last 2 battles. I can't justify that. And I'm the nigga that, like, when that last class came in that had Woosaah and Capo and Eunice and all those guys, where Woosaah was my second favorite one. Eunice was obviously always the best.
In the first generation of the Group Chat podcast, we had a final exams conversation. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see it.
Yeah, like I've always been a big Woosaah fan, so I was happy to see him turn the momentum around and people start to take notice of and appreciate him. I was glad to see that. It was proud, it was vindicating. So I don't take any pleasure in being like, damn, I think this nigga probably should take a break and not be on SM. Because say he is on SM, right? Say that he still gets a spot on the card. If he's this burnt out already after what he just did, and SM's in less than 3 weeks or exactly 3 weeks away, how am I supposed to be super confident in what he'd bring to SM at this point? He's fatigued. I think he just needs to sit down for a bit. I'm not confident that he should be on SM, and that even if he wasn't SM, that he'd be able to deliver.
Yeah, I'm sorry, stop licking my shirt, bro. Like, relax. Go to sleep.
Yeah,
go back to sleep.
Listen, I think there's matchups you can make. So I think at least 1 or 2 of these guys maybe should get utilized. Like, I understand there's always going to be an opening spot on the card. That's the best time to showcase new talent. Look how good it worked with Eunice and Chess. But the chances are, if Woosaah does make an SM, he's going to battle someone else that's like a top level, you know, like the way the Eunice had battled Chess, you're going to get that. And it's very hard for me to predict him right now to win most matchups that I could realistically see him getting. So, you know, we won't keep harping on it, and you know, we'll talk about these call outs a little bit, but I share kind of the same thing with Titus. Tonight there was a huge opportunity where I expected the newer talent to really carry this card. I had all three of them winning going in. I thought some would have the performances of the night, Klutz specifically, and it just wasn't enough. I guess my expectations are a bit too high for them right now. So with that being said, though, do we want to get into some of the call outs? Because there's some that I loved, there were some I hated. And I love talking about both those things in life, things I love and I hate.
So I have a favorite call out.
Talk to me.
Go for me.
I think we have the same one.
Maybe.
I got two. I know which one you're talking about.
Okay.
The one I'll say. After tonight, I really like Lu versus Bill.
I love Lu Castro.
I love Lu Castro versus Bill Collector.
Absolutely.
After what they both did on this card, I'm all for that battle. The next time you are running, whatever the next event is after SM, please, Lu Castro versus Bill Collector. I'm all for that battle. They're both phenomenal tonight. Obviously, Bill Collector won his battle. Lu Castro was on the losing end, but I still love what Lu Castro did. Mm-hmm. I love Castro and Bill. Please set that one up.
When he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see that. Let's move forward with that." And I saw even somebody said, not that it would. I don't even know if this card will be happening this year, but they said, "Oh, like Lu and Bill in a volume would be crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah." I wouldn't be bad. You know what else? Lu and Bill with like a lot of people in the room. I'm kind of with that too. There's really no way. I think their styles play off each other so well. They've obviously tonight shown more than small room capable, but with that animated style, if it's emphasized within the matchup, a big stage, especially to like open a card or something, would be great for that. And I think it's when people move to top six immediately, we forget these UM1 guys still have a shit ton of plates to go through. So there is so many people that still could get utilized on a roster, but who am I looking for to get booked a lot? I'm looking at Lu Castro. I'm looking at what Jay the Nightwing's done this year. Fonz, obviously. Those are the pushes that are really moving stuff. Red mentioned Orlando HQ is his favorite room right now. He performs like
that. He battles like
it. Performances live up to that statement for sure.
For a guy that I think kind of gets lost in like one of those like staples of the volume series, it makes sense for him to be good for him to love the Orlando room because to me, he's one of the pillars of the volume. I love O-Red.
And speaking of O-Red, Lu Castro called out O-Red. His three call-outs, which I like all of them. Obviously, we love the Bill Collector one, especially after tonight. Lu Castro versus Shotgun Suge, stage battle. I'm not mad at that one. Shotgun Suge got called out a fuck ton tonight.
Got called a lot.
Yeah,
they love
Lu Castro and Suge. And Lu Castro and O-Red is probably the most like different, style clash there with such like a pen versus more of like a performer, more simplistic but more energetic and entertaining. But if he wants that, like they're both rapping pretty good, I wouldn't even be mad at that. So that's my least favorite. But all three of those call outs, Lu Castro understood what the call outs meant. Call out names.
Lu Castro nailed his call outs.
Yes,
Lu Castro had the best call outs of the night. I'd watch all those battles get booked. And this is coming from a long way considering the way that specifically me, but we used to discuss Lu Castro for the most part. So proud of everything he's done in 2025. Klutz had one call out and called out Suge. And it's one that I don't love as much as Lu and Bill, but when I heard it, don't mind that either.
Go ahead, Titus.
This is the call out I'm excited for the most because one, I'm glad to see Klutz got out of the pin versus pin lane. Cool.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
Let's get out of that. Let's get crazy.
Just even chest isn't that a little bit,
Yeah, right. So I like it. Called out Suge. Cool. Let's get to it. Put that battle on. Put the battle in the crowd.
Yeah, let's find out about Klutz. Let's find out.
Let's learn. It's time to learn.
It's time to learn some things. Look,
we have things we want to learn, and we have to see to learn.
Here's the thing.
Let's watch what happens.
Anytime Smack talks about his favorite new guys, he always says Unison Klutz. Always. So clearly Smack has like a really, really strong love and admiration for Klutz and the work that he's in the Klutz that he's put in the work that he's put in. The only question left is, can it happen on a stage? That's it. That's really it. He's faced top level comp. He's faced respectable names. He's got some wins over respectable names. So can you do it on a stage is literally the last question.
It is.
And Suge is a very fascinating question for Klutz.
And it makes a lot of sense.
We can learn a lot of things. We get to learn. Yeah, we get to learn how are you in a style clash, a real style clash, and how do you handle the pressure of a stage and the crowd. I want this battle so bad. I want it so bad. I need this battle.
Yeah,
I need
Klutz and Suge answers a lot of questions. And if we're being
so
real,
many.
like I said tonight, even for when I was critical of him, and maybe it's because I already view Klutz like he's done great things versus vets before, and I love how he's progressed besides sitting down for like a year out of nowhere. This is the next natural progression. I think he might have won tonight. Like, you could debate out of all of them, he's the one that you can actually debate might have won tonight. And Suge's kind of been trending back in a weirder direction this year. So pen versus performance, it's a huge test for him. I see that France mentioned the Jack Boy main battle. Yeah, but it's not the same. I'm not going to be disrespectful. It's just not the same thing. Like, we want a top tier challenge on the stage for him. So Klutz and Suge, I'm not even mad at that from Klutz. One that I don't like whatsoever, Hansel's call out. Hansel's call out was just Arsenal. I'm all set.
Nah, this was a smart call out.
He could get the Arsenal, the win on the board, and I get it, but I'm not dying for Hansel and Arsenal.
This was a smart call out. You need a free win sometimes, all right?
Yeah.
You battle Arsenal, you get a spaghetti plate and a free W. This was sometimes you know what? I think Hansel's in a place in his career where he's still trying things sometimes, right? And Hansel likes to experiment. What better battle to experiment against than a legend who doesn't win? Arsenal is the perfect time to experiment in a battle. Try some new things, because I think Hansel can tighten his angling up.
No.
I think Hansel can tighten his angling up. Hansel, to me, one of his misses tonight was the angles against Bill they weren't executed well to me. They didn't hit well for me at all. Because it's hard to reuse angles and do them over and over again as battle rap. I don't have problems with somebody doing angles that have been heard before. It's about the execution. I just don't think he executed them well, especially. And it's harder to do so when Ill Will went like battle rap viral for what he did to Bill about the situation in the third round. You're not touching that, and that wasn't that long ago. That wasn't even a year ago. You're not touching what Ill Will did to Bill Collector about the whole show out. You can't, and I just don't think Hansel showed that. But it's like battling Arsenal. You know what it is? I'm gonna wrestling back. It's like a house show. You go in there, you try your Hurricanrana that you haven't done on TV yet. Throw out a 450. You try some new things. Hit a lariat.
What's funny is that I called him Trick Williams last week.
Did
and then you say that he needs to go out there and get some more practice.
Yeah, and Hansel and Arsenal's a TNA battle for sure. That's TNA. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know, because I know that Hansel's whole thing has been like John and DNA for so long. I felt like, or even like Rock, who he mentioned tonight. And man, like, I love that we're shooting for like our biggest battles, and that's nice. But tonight showed me that this bad things would happen to this man in front of those names. Hansel, I saw Hansel and Cortez.
I like Hansel and Cortez.
I do too. Hansel needs to like it.
They were the other night saying really horrific things about each other, really beyond the realm of battle rap.
Yeah, that was a lot.
And that's one that makes Cortez is having a good year, right? And Cortez is saying he wants to give there's a couple more bigger matchups, like I think Chef Trez was one other battler that he wants to lock in with this year. But then he's down to keep giving shots, as Cortez does for the most part. I hope that argument they had doesn't really cause too much of a personal rift and kind of be diverted into competitive, because that's a good look for both of them.
Yeah,
like a worthwhile shot to give, and that's kind of a top tier that I think is more in the range of Hansel right now.
Yeah.
John, DNA, Rock. That's not what you want right now, bro.
Yeah, Hansel.
Not what you want right now whatsoever. This because I don't even know if he beat Cortez right now. The way Cortez is looking,
Cortez has been really good.
Yeah. So I'd like Hansel and Cortez more than Hansel and Ars.
I know Hansel has alluded a couple times this year about how he gets these arguments that people want to see the battles. That's the only reason we want to see the battles. Hansel, I want to tell you something. Arguing with people in battle rap is how this works. That's a 10 out of 10. Yeah. I'm gonna want to see the battle, brother. If you would like for us to not be interested, you gotta not be as good at arguing as you are, because
you're amazing at arguing, Hansel.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god,
you've been doing this John thing for a minute, and I know I don't care about Hansel and John. I've never cared about it. It has not made me. There's no style, anything. It's just you kind of berating him on Twitter with one argument with Cortez. I'm like, yeah, let's watch that. Life works out like that.
I'm so down for that battle
at some point, but I'm much more interested in this than that. So, but I want to see Hansel keep getting work. I think Hansel is an extremely promising talent. Like I said, I still think he's been having a good year. I want to see him win more, and I want to see him sharpen up his skill set before he takes his top of the top mountain battles, loses them gentleman's 30, and then tweets like, "I've arrived." Like, we don't need it. It doesn't need to be that way. So,
summer run. So
Chess called out everyone.
Summer hoops run.
Chess said, "Bring me people."
Chess called out Hansel and Woosaah.
Yes.
Not horrible. He's had a debatable with Klutz, so I don't think that'd be a bad idea. Hansel and Chess also better than Hansel and Arsenal. So Hansel and Woosaah. Then the two big ones he called out A Ward and he called out Real Sick, which I think
he also called out Slade.
Those are major. I think Slade called out Chess.
Yeah, Slade called out.
So then they talk, but Chess did not originally call out Slade in the list. But A Ward and Real Sick, I'm with that. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't think Chess is much of a winner of battles, but I think he's really good at making battles matter.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're hate watching, whether you're watching as a fan, like wanting to see him win, whether you just want a good battle, if you want dramatics of some sort. Shit, we just talked about him and Klutz being mid. Probably talked about that battle as much as any battle on the card. He's just someone that generates discourse and conversation. So for me, Chess and A Ward, Chess and Real Sick could fit on any big card. I'm with it. I just have no complaints for. I don't know if I have him winning either of them.
A Ward and Chess would be a crazy face-off.
A Ward and Chess.
Oh my god!
And look at what he's done versus the Horseman up to this point. Saga is like one of the more vicious performances he's had, and then him and Loso is low-key one of Chess's best battles in this catalog, which he also won. So I'd like some A Ward.
That's a really good point. I feel like if there's anything that can get Chess back to the form we know Chess to have, I think it probably would be an A Ward battle, right? Like I think, and he even said in the 3-Letterman interview that those were kind of the A Ward was kind of the name he called out. A Ward were kind of names he had called out initially. He's ended up at Klutz. It wasn't his first choice,
right?
So I am interested to see him in those battles, right? I do think there's still a thing for Chess. I think Chess. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I think Chess likes to battle the new guys, but I don't think Chess focuses on them the way he focuses on the elite names, right? Like I don't think he focuses on the way he focuses on like a Sick or a Ward. I don't think he'd be the same kind of locked in, right?
No, he'd be locked in for Real Sick more so than a Woosaah.
Yeah,
had a couple battles like, hey, URL, I will take X amount of money for these little guys,
right?
But I want really these like this is really what I want you to sign me up for when the chips are down. And
this is a crazy freeze to get him on too.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Who's frozen?
Am I frozen?
That was you.
Yeah, but one name he didn't mention, Chess and Fonz. I'd like that.
Yeah,
didn't get mentioned at all. But Ward, Sick, and Fonz in terms of like the fights that he wants, I'm with that, Chess. So
agreed.
Then from there we have Kid Slade, who I also thought did pretty good with this call outs. His first one was J2. They've been incessantly arguing. J2, similar to a Snake Eyes, he keeps a battle on him.
JB the GOAT, as always.
JB, loving it, man. Fantastic card tonight. But Slade and J2 keeps a matchup on him. He's just going to annoy somebody to the point that he's getting milked. The clone battle, he'd been harassing Clone, just finished that. Kid Slade, I'm going to harass you now. I don't care for it, but I wouldn't hate it. J2's been good on URL this year. I just
so you enforce smoke.
Yeah, and then Slade said T-Rex and Chess. Slade said T-Rex and Chess, love them both. Love both.
I really like Slade and Rex.
Give me any T-Rex battle that gets him out of the Serious Jones vortex.
Facts. Yeah, we got to talk, Titus, because we haven't talked. I kind of like that battle for ignorant reasons. But I'm not going to go into it right now.
That's an after.
And I know you guys know how I normally speak about a battle of that nature, but I like it. But Slade and Rex, if it does end up happening, could we like big? Could it be a Gnome or SM Accolade? I don't know if we'll ever find a way to get Slade back.
I need Slade. I need two more. I need two more.
Yeah,
even a volume.
Slade and Rex Slade should work up to next year.
Yeah.
So when Gnome comes back around, if Slade carries this momentum to top form, now I'm all for Kid Slade and Rex on a big card. But I like the Rex and Chess matchup for him.
I love me too. I think those are good battles. I think those are both very good battles. What other calls we had? Did we miss something?
It was just the last one I see here is Woosaah. Before they got into the DNA where Woosaah and DNA were both kind of fighting for camera time. Did Roc win? Yes, he did.
Roc did win.
He was very good once again. Shocker. But Woosaah called out Eunice and Hansel. So like all the interclass for the most part kind of called each other out. And then he called out Shug. Pretty standard set for Woosaah. I liked how he jumped in the face off to talk shit with Eunice a little bit. Fight for that position on SM. But I think Woosaah and Shug is the best matchup there. That's like Shug has been for a few guys. It makes sense. And then they all want to battle each other in the class. So like that doesn't even have to be on a big card. Like Hansel and Woosaah won't be on a big card, but on like another run of the mill, you know what I'm saying? Like I say run of the mill. I really like Nexus tonight, but even if it's an app drop, if I saw an app drop of Woosaah and Hansel, I'm definitely tuning in.
Yeah, I really think with these classes we can bring Civil War back to what Civil War was.
Yes.
So let's get some interclass warfare on that card, right? Let one of these guys, two of these guys headline it, whatever. I think that's a good look for all of them. Whether it be Hansel, Woosaah, whether it be Woosaah Eunice 2, whether it be Woosaah Klutz.
Yeah, there's always
there's so many matchups we haven't had yet with these guys.
Capo's always
Klutz and Foots.
Capo, he wants to battle someone in his class, and then he'll only and then he battles like Bandit Montana, you fucking jackass. You know what I'm saying? Like, bunch of nonsense. You take a fight. So I'm not mad at this. Like a Capo versus a Eunice, Hansel, or Woosaah. Woosaah versus Eunice or Hansel. Like there's a million ways to divvy that up. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm not mad at that.
I think
we
get some more back to the roots. Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. Yeah, Roc. He looked at UM5. He's like, hey. Smack whenever you feel like they're ready, or whenever you're ready. We can start running some of these guys from the UM4 class.
Oh, France said wish list battle for Slade. B Magic returning to URL. France knows how much I love this particular.
I would love Slade and B Magic.
I just think it's one of those where, especially in that Orlando studio room, right? There's not some battle, has to be some big battle. Their rapping ability, what did we just see tonight? Rapping ability played off well in that room. The flows of Kid Slade and B Magic going back and forth. And B Magic, even though he hasn't had a lot of URL looks like over the last few years recently, he has performances like, do you remember the one rounder he had versus Fonz on Band?
Yeah,
which might have also been shot in Orlando. I'm not 100% sure.
That was New York, I think.
No, he was fucking dynamite in that one rounder. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have these random B Magic battles where, like, if you're tuned into 2023, it went under the radar. Magic, like, he's not battling as much. This isn't 2013, but man, like, Magic is still good for a good performance under the right circumstances. Yeah. I would do anything for Kid Slade versus B Magic. So that one didn't get mentioned tonight. But I love that as well. So I think that was, and I saw Roc. Then Roc, who at first said he wouldn't call anyone out, then he's like, "Yeah, I'll smoke like a Klutz or a Hansel, brother. Leave them alone. It doesn't help anyone involved. You're not even gonna get that."
He said when you're ready.
He did say when you're ready.
Yeah. So he put that on Song Smack. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not this year or next for these guys.
Put that one in the back of the filing cabinet. It's a file, but we're just gonna reach for it at a later date. But I love the Nexus callouts. I always, this is one of my actually favorite parts of the Nexus event, and it separates it from just being like outside with cheese or like super fight with extra tomatoes or something like that.
Yeah, and we got some callouts that like made like some real sense tonight too.
Yeah, and I love that at the end when DNA kind of like backed out of the Eunice, or like looked like he basically said like, I'm not going to battle Eunice for my first battle back. Woosaah came right over and said, all right, fuck all that then I'm gonna talk my shit.
Smart move.
That's kind of like natural. We miss that sometimes nowadays. I know when Muop did his call outs for Eunice the other day, some people were, it was polarizing. And this kind of creates the environment for polarizing call-outs like that. I'm going to remember Woosaah running up and being like, yeah, that DNA and Eunice shit is cool, but I'm right in front of you. Do I prefer DNA and Eunice? Yes. But is that how you snatch the attention and make us pay attention on a live stream? Also, yes. So that's always a great part of the Nexus event, and it's almost as exciting as it is talking about the battles itself. So overall, man, I'd give Nexus 7.5 out of 10. I almost want to save 8 out of 10 because I give those out a little too frequently for like what I think is like great stuff. But I think this was really, really good. I enjoyed Nexus tonight.
Yeah, 7.5 out of 10 sounds about right to me. It's a good night, man. Good night battle rap. Fun evening. We were able to do this live after the event. That's always fun. I like when we can go live right after this. This means not doing a show tomorrow, right?
That we're not doing what?
No, double duty, brother. Double duty.
So
We're
Scott,
doing
we're
it.
not doing a show tomorrow, right?
I
Who's
mean,
that?
I wouldn't be opposed, but if we did that,
If
we're not doing the show tomorrow. We're not doing the show tomorrow. We're not doing the show tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Forbidden Door. Tomorrow's Forbidden Door. It sucks. It sucks. JB, thank you for playing the movie, brother. We appreciate you as always.
Fact.
Yeah, I don't think I have much else to add here, but good night of raps, man. Successful night for most people.
And what do we know? What our next? Is there anything next weekend? Because I know it's about to get real crazy in September.
I feel like we're safe next weekend. I might be wrong. I feel like we're safe.
Yeah. Oh, two things before we get out of here. One, it's almost September, which means it's almost time for y'all to not understand the code criteria.
Yes.
So please, you have so much. It's so easy to research it and find out what's going on. With
you have so much. You have so much time.
Oh, the Fonz tournament next week.
Fonz tournament. There's always something.
So the Loso coronation.
All right, Loso.
Hey, what happened at T-Top tournament? You know what? Never mind. You know what I'm saying? We'll save that.
By the pound.
What happened to that one? It's been
by the pound coming soon, September 20th.
I heard all this about Loso's double tourney run. I think it's been 2 months since that semifinals, but that's
September 20th. By the pound.
Yeah.
What happened to tournament money? I have Whispers versus Capo. That's what I have.
What do you say? Danny Myers versus Quill. All right.
and last thing, shout out to Quest for Cody if I ain't handle business tonight. At Toys Battle. You don't know what happened.
I saw that on notes.
I'm sure you'll see it on the internet. And if you haven't seen it yet, when Henny Man gets on celebrating his birthday, I'm sure he will also post it. Shout out to Henny Man. Happy birthday to Henny Man, the legend. But I'm sure he will also post it when he gets to celebrate his birthday. Yeah, shout out to Quest for Cody for doing that how he should, handling that how it should be handled. And thank y'all for watching, man. Appreciate all of you. Let's talk battlerap.com for all your news. Quest did win performance of the night. That's a fact. Let's talk battle rap for all your battle rap news. Let's talk battle rap podcast on Twitter. And we out. Thank you.